right? Like the people we're worried about are probably renters because they're close to minimum wage. I mean, it's hard to buy a house in Toronto or GTA working minimum wage, I think. So
can't. Yeah.
I don't know how anybody, I mean, it's hard enough to do it on a really good income, right?
Yeah.
So like I think the people that are going away, I mean, they have steady, secure jobs. I don't think anybody thinking that they're about to lose their job is going up to the cottage or going to Montreal for the weekend. But it's crazy. Like, there's so many other factors. Like, we could just pull stuff out of our hats at every second to point things in a direction. So we'll stick to the numbers. So
Sure.
Sales went off the charts. Although, I mean, there's definitely not the best year ever, best July ever. March of 2017 was a killer year. Holy cow. Anyways, new listings. So new listings spiked also for record in July by quite a decent amount. And so we see a trend here for the whole kind of pandemic where it's like, listings went down, sales went down, demand didn't go anywhere, right? And then sales go up and hey, what do you know? Listings go up too. Like there's more stuff to buy. Look at that. And demand didn't waver either.
Yeah.
Right?
Same storyline. People were delaying their sales. People who bought also need to sell. So there's all these different areas that people are going to be, listed. Why people are going to be listing their homes, and of course, there's people who are, seeing the writing on the wall and putting up their houses for sale to capitalize on a market and get out. Right?
Yeah.
There's people I dealt with in July who had a property to sell that were thinking like 10 years. Well, I think one of them was 14 years. They were planning this sale, and they finally came to the table to get it done, right?
Wow.
So in a estate sale, right? So that's the way it works.
Amazing. So what other stats are you focused on right now? I mean,
so the sales, okay, so we'll just figure out the sales part. Sales numbers, okay, so detached home sales, July 2019 compared to July 2020 are up 43%. Okay,
wow.
so sales are up 29.5, but detached homes are up 43%. That's a huge difference between the average, right, close to 30, meaning that the detached housing segment is leading the pace, right? So it means that when the detached houses are leading, but again, the storyline is people are getting out of the condos. People, are not looking at tight spaces. They want bigger space. They want more space. They want a main floor office. All the things that we've been talking about.
They'd like to go outside.
At those detached housing.
Yeah.
More. If you got detached, chances are you have more property. If you're looking for a pool, chances are it's in a detached over other types of homes, right?
Yeah, it's a fairly safe bet in a condo too. But I mean, the numbers are very, very heavily weighted towards not condos.
Yes. Now, here's the one here that will lead us into prices. This is the metric that I've been using the past 2 months just to try to figure out where we're at with stuff. And this one is like mind-boggling. Like this is crazy. So sales of $2 million or more properties. In July 2019, there was 185 sales. Okay?
185, yep.
185 in that month. Anything over 2 million. In July 2020, 452.
Whoa.
244% increase.
Whoa.
Okay? So when we start hearing about what we're going to talk about next, which is prices going up, you got to remember that the average that's being weighted is going to be including properties, some of them 5, 6, 7, 8 million, whatever those numbers were, and the higher end stuff over 10.
So, but hold on, that's 400 out of 11,000 though.
Still, that's a huge number to be sticking into the equation.
What is it? What is it if you take those out?
Right, exactly. What's the volume there? I don't know the numbers on that, but what's the volume on those sales? Right? Because you talk about the average price. Well, one of these houses equals 10 of the average houses. Some of them, right?
Yeah.
Well,
now I probably asked you this every time. These numbers do not include new homes and condos, correct? This is all resale.
On a real estate board, MLS sales. There might be some new stuff on there, but mostly resale.
But that's new stuff that hit the MLS because they couldn't sell it pre-sale.
Yeah, there's also assignments. There's
right.
Like
But that's a tiny segment of that market. So that whole market is missing from the numbers.
Yep.
Okay.
right? So when we look at averages,
Because I know condos sold like crazy. Anything that was available, new stuff, but
new stuff.
it's not
Yeah.
reflected anywhere here.
No, this is
Okay,
Toronto Real Estate Board MLS. Yeah,
got it.
new condo sales. What we've talked about already, scarce availabilities. People nervous about the market. Yeah, going into the resale condo market right now is scary. So people, of course, are putting their money into the new housing market.
Yeah, I mean, why if you could buy a townhouse now, I guess it depends on your work situation, but if you could buy a townhouse now for the same price as you could buy a condo, doesn't
Yeah,
make any sense,
why would
right?
you go with the townhouse? Yeah, most people are going to go with the townhouse.
If you can work from the townhouse, especially, right?
Yeah, yeah, big time.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, these numbers year over year, percentage changes: detached 43.7, semi 25.4, townhouse 31.3. I mean, condos still went up year over year, but it's only 6.7%, which I guess is good when everybody's saying the sky's falling in the condo market.
There was a ton of action still under 900,000 in the condo market.
Right.
As soon as you got to 900,000 and above, the brakes were halted. It was just like crazy. It was just like there's nobody there, right? So they saw an increase in prices. So we saw a lot of sales, a lot of activity still in those areas that people can't buy a detached home for. They can't buy a townhouse for. Like you want to buy a home for 600,000 in Toronto, good luck, right?
Yeah.
So you were forced into the condo market. So we saw those activities there. Under 9, things were moving still. Downtown core, there's different buildings that are getting hit really hard, but you go midtown, you go uptown, you go anywhere in the 905, you go, places that are a little bit further on the outskirts on the Bloor line, or, even on the east side too. There's Eglinton. There's still a lot of activity. Right. So that's why those numbers are there. That's why the sales numbers are still up, even though, you and I have been talking mainly downtown core. We've been looking at the huge spread between the listings that are increasing in that neighborhood and the sales that have not been increasing in that neighborhood, and that it just keeps getting worse. And I looked at the end of July numbers for those downtown core areas, and it's only worse now. There's only more new listings and less sales. So we're still getting pushed into that really strong buyer's market in the downtown core.
Yeah, I mean, out of 5,600 detached sales, 4,500 were in the 905. Right?
Big time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So right now, you may not want to be focusing on downtown if you are a realtor. You may want to spread out a little bit and start heading east, west, and north.
Call your suburban clients. Yeah, call your suburban clients. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, let's go right into price then.
Sure. We could do price next. So we've got our average resale home price for July, also a record. We're hovering really close to $1 million. Were we higher than Vancouver this time?
I don't know. I don't.
We keep going back and forth with them for most expensive in Canada, but
I don't think so. From anything that I know about Vancouver, I don't think so.
But we're not putting too much weight into this number, I thought.
Because, the average price?
Well, no. Isn't it like median price is really the thing you want to take a look at?
You know what? They try to have. So let's talk about the home price index price. So this is something that they're trying to be focused on to make sure that everybody knows exactly what the average house price would be, adjusted by square footage, number of bedrooms, and everything else like that too. That was still up 10% because it's really not a perfect metric. I mean, they're trying their best to be a little bit more accurate, because they realize that when you've got a 244% increase in homes over 2 million, that they have to take that into account somehow. Mm-hmm. But what they can't take into account is they can't take into account which homes are renovated, which homes are on a ravine lot, which homes have got pools, there's just so many other factors that go into making up the benchmark price, which is 880,000. Okay, that's what the benchmark price is, and that was up 10%. It's just not something that is exact. So you really just have to know the markets. You have to know what's going on. I mean, it's really simple for me to just explain it like this when people are looking at their average price. 17%, right? So 17%. So if you sold a home for $1 million last year, is it worth $1,170,000 today?
What does 17% represent?
170,000, right? So
No, but where does 17% come from?
the average price.
Increase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Is it worth $170,000 more today without doing anything, without any special characteristics of the neighborhood being changed or anything else like that? And the easiest, most clear answer is no. It's not. Okay? So house prices have not gone up 17%. If your average home has not gone up 17%,
Right.
it's just the prices have averaged out up a higher 16.9%. I mean, that's what the average came from.
And this is why you need a realtor, or you need to know how to use one of those new websites where you can find out what's going on in the vicinity of where you're looking, because it's local, right? It's like, what is pricing around here? What are houses around here worth? Right? It's not who the hell gives a shit what Keel and Shepherd if you're buying in the downtown core, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what the average price is at Bathurst and Finch.
Yeah, why is somebody in Brampton affected by that, right? So that's exactly what it is. So anybody who's thinking like, man, I'm going to get 17% more now for my property than my neighbor got last year is in for a rude awakening in about 99% of the areas in Toronto.